Oh boy, this is a crazy one. You know, we always say this, every accusation is a confession, but it really is true. It's not just a saying when it comes to these conservatives. They are very persistent in their claims that trans people, gay people, the left in general, are part of this woke agenda whose goal is to harm kids by indoctrinating them into believing that boys can be girls and girls can be boys. That's more or less a synopsis of what the right believes on the issue of trans and gay people. And whenever a trans or gay person appears in a piece of media, like a video game or a movie, we all know they lose their mind and they try to cancel that movie or video game because they see any form of inclusion as some kind of attack on their worldview, their existence, and the stability of what they're comfortable with, the status quo that they view as, like, right. It's what makes them comfortable. And this feeling has led to the creation of a market for what I call chud slop content. These right-wing YouTubers who just peddle nonsense, right-wing, repeated talking points about how whatever new game, movie, or show that's recently come out is woke or bad or anti-white or anti-male or just in some way a signifier of the financial and cultural failure of the left, especially when it's, you know, signaled in some kind of institution's media production. And one of those chud slop grifters has become a very, I guess, a fan favorite to cover on my channel, and that's AndyPants Gaming. You guys might remember him when a few months ago he had a huge falling out with a YouTuber named the Actman. The Actman was never like a right-wing YouTuber necessarily, but he was anti-woke. You know, and there's a lot of different political ideologies that someone who's anti-woke could be a part of. And AndyPants, I guess, decided that Actman was woke now, and did a big call-out video on him, which led to Actman realizing this whole anti-woke video game community movement is just nonsense. He made a big video calling it out, and since AndyPants, despite his, you know, massive size on YouTube, of course, he is a chud slop grifter, they're all quite successful. Despite his massive size on YouTube, he is getting a lot more shit than he used to after all that happened. And apparently, at some point recently, he made a game using AI, like an anti-woke game. It's called like Chad versus the Nazi feminists or something like that. I don't know the exact name, but it's really close to that. And it's made using a shitload of AI art. It is a very cringe game, and it has been taken down from most places on the internet that hosted it because supposedly it contains AI-generated CP. Something that when confronted on Twitter, AndyPants defended by saying, well, yeah, because that's what the left is in favor of, and it's a game about defeating the leftist Nazis. If you guys don't believe me, if you guys don't believe it's that fucking wild, then let's watch this video. It's by a YouTuber named No Life Network, whose, you know, original video will be down below in the description for you guys to go watch, and it's called AndyPants Gaming is a Freaky Weirdo. People recommended I watch this, and I did off-stream, to be fair, at least a bit of it off-stream, and once I got to the big punchline of this video, I was like, oh shit, I need to cover this, because this is crazy. Let's watch.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have an unfortunate
AC4 Black Flag gameplay, let's go.
From within our own community. You see, I've never told you this before, but I am part of the most oppressed minority in the world. So as much as it scares me to do, I have to come out to you all and say that I am a gamer. Now, I'm sure hundreds of you just unsubscribed and clicked off this video, but for those of you who are still watching, let me elaborate on the situation. Odds are most of you are familiar with a YouTuber called AndyPants Gaming.
I'm gonna be honest, it is wild to me that a video game that came out in 2013 for the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360, and PC to be fair, looks this fucking good. Like, this game still looks so good, particularly in water. Like, the way they made tropical water look in this game still holds up so fucking well. Like, I cannot wait for the remaster, remake, or whatever that they're making of AC4. Because, dude, this game blew me away as a kid. It is one of my favorite games of all time.
Odds are most of you are familiar with a YouTuber called AndyPants Gaming. He's a pretty standard anti-woke gaming YouTuber akin to Synthetic Man or The Quartering. He's made some videos on masculinity in gaming that got really popular, and he also had a little spat thing with the Act Man a while back. They had a debate or something, but that's not really the point of the video. AndyPants was so fed up with perceived wokeness in video games that he decided to make his own. The game itself is entitled Chad versus the Gay Nazis.
I'm sorry. It wasn't Chad versus the feminist Nazis. It was Chad versus the gay Nazis. As you can see, an immense amount of AI art has been used in the making of this game.
Which is fucking hilarious. And it features weird, gross-looking AI-generated sprites.
Oh my god. Can we get...
And it features weird,
Okay, so we've got the main character, Chad. We've got the background, which just has a sign that says STD for some reason. And you've got a satanic black woman, who of course they made fat, because fat equals left and evil, of course. Wisney, the Israel flag, because Jewish. No. To be clear, I do not believe that the Israel flag is here because pro-Israel. It's here because it's supposed to be pro-Jewish, is what it means in this context. This guy's a Nazi, remember? A rainbow flag shirt. Kill white... I don't know what the rest of this is supposed to be. I don't know what the rest of it... But it says kill white here. And then you've got some, like, robot rainbow tentacles. And a wheelchair. I think she's supposed to be in a wheelchair. Oh, kill white Christians, maybe? That could be what it says, yeah. I can see an N and an S here. That would kind of fit. Yeah, I think that is what it says.
Gross-looking AI-generated sprites, which are also hilarious. And it features AI-generated CP based off of Andy's own daughter, which is not hilarious.
Yeah. At this point, I had realized it was a little necessary that I talk about this.
Now we're going to get more into that in a second, but let me just give you a basic rundown of what the game actually is and what it's about. Okay, so I found the game's page, and I'm going to read the actual description. Play the game that exposes the LGBT... And I'm gonna
Okay, so for starters, we got the vaporwave aesthetic. Every time I say this on stream, people lose their mind, but the vaporwave aesthetic has been like one of the go-to aesthetics for Nazis when they're trying to create a brand or memes online since 2018, I want to say. Like, I'm not saying Nazis fully own vaporwave, but they've definitely made strides in claiming it. So, of course, you got the classic vaporwave opening here.
Read the actual description. Play the game that...
All right, cool. We've got the attack helicopter. All right, don't think I didn't notice that. Literal attack helicopter. The inclusive task force. We've got the progress flag with a swastika in it because woke... The Nazis are woke, I guess. Wokeness means Nazi, but also the woke people call everybody Nazis that disagrees with them. Because symbols have no meaning, of course.
Exposes the LGBTQ movement.
Sergeant Patricia, Slay Queen.
As the pedos, Satanists, and degenerate filth that they are. Every troon and homo and degenerate pedo has tried to cancel my game for the past month because of how true it is. I've been playing footage from the trail.
That is the quote from AndyPants about why his game has been getting taken down. We accept, baptize us, Master Satan. and you've got a suited, overweight, mohawk, purple hair individual. You've got another overweight black woman, because they hate overweight black women. You've got like a skinny white guy who's apparently gay, and that's awful. And I guess this is supposed to be a trans woman who I guess they've... It's weird that AndyPants opted to just make her look like a cis woman. You know, she passes perfectly well. She looks pretty normal unless you make her eyes glow red. You know, I think that's quite funny.
In the background, hopefully it'll give you a good idea of what the game is about. I'm still not entirely sure, to be honest. But anyways, as you will probably agree, it looks like shit. I didn't make this video just to poke fun at the game and how shitty it looks. I'm actually here to poke fun at the game because it breaks the law. As I showed you earlier, AndyPants called LGBT people pedos, but this game has
trans rights along with the swastika on the progress flag. I love just the imagery of like all the pride flags, but then there's swastikas as well. The absolute insane victim wannabe mentality. A flag for every tree, I'm dead. I know, it's so badly made. It looks so ugly and poorly put together. Like, why is there just a flag coming from the side post? Why is there a flag coming from the like trees? Why is there a flag that's just coming out of the trunk of this tree? Why is there a flag coming out of the side of this stoplight? And why is the stoplight, mind you, facing this way? This is not a pedestrian stoplight. Why is there a red, yellow, and green stoplight for a crosswalk? And like, that's not how crosswalks work. Also, why is the green on the bottom? Isn't green supposed to be on the top? So this is all AI generated. Like, every page, every frame, I think, was AI generated from scratch. From scratch. Like, I think the whole thing, like, not even just the assets, but, like, the frames of the game were made with AI. Like, what is this shovelware garbage?
Literal AI-generated CP in it. This is because, as I'm sure you've heard before, every accusation is a confession. In case you don't believe this, I've put an image on screen in which AndyPants literally confesses to this.
Someone says to AndyPants on Twitter, "Bro, you made a game with AI images of 10-year-old girls pole dancing. You can try pointing the blame somewhere, but you made a game where little girls become sex workers and dedicated it to your daughter." And AndyPants replied, "Yes, because people like you are doing this stuff," in reference to this person being left-wing. I love that. Bro, you literally made AI CP. Yeah, bro, because you woke lefties do it. Can't call out someone for being a pedophile if they call you a pedophile back.
He says it's because people like you are doing this stuff, but you're the one that's literally doing it. You typed this prompt in. You are responsible for the existence of this image, Andy, you freak. Now, I am lucky enough to have not seen this image, but to anyone who has, I am legitimately sorry.
The gay cops are shooting green orbs that just say STD on them. So the gay Nazi cops try to infect you with STDs. That is the way they try to damage you.
But back to Andy shat his pants for a second.
Oh, here at least these mechs have gay bullets.
Complaining that the game was taken off of Steam or off of itch.io because the woke left is trying to censor him and cancel him or whatever. But the content is illegal. Andy, to quote XQC, you're not canceled, you're a criminal. It's almost funny how unself-aware Andy is. I also don't think he understands what cancellation is, since he still pulls tons of views regularly. I just pulled up his channel. As of recording this, his most recent video has almost 90,000 views. And not to brag, by the way, but my most recent video has almost that many views and more likes, despite having 1% of his subscriber base. So
good shit,
that, Andy. You freak. Anyways, that's all I really needed to say. Andy, you're a weirdo and a criminal, and the size and stupidity of your audience concerns me. everybody who watched.
Not only is this a really good video that's concise and straight to the point, but I could not have thought of a better choice of game to be playing in the background, by the way. Literally one of my favorite games of all time. There are very few games I've ever been as excited for as I was for Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag. The gameplay trailers where they had the game director just like narrating a small 13-minute slice of gameplay. There were 2 videos of that they put out, and I rewatched those easily hundreds of times in the lead up to the release of this game because I was just that hyped, and it absolutely lived up to the hype. I was not in the slightest bit disappointed.
Watched this, have a nice day. The My Immortal video is coming soon, so don't you worry about that.
My Immortal,
and
no.
I'll see you all later.
No, don't remind me. Oh, I love this clip.
You guys are naming
I love this clip.
That are like sex offenders and out there racist and fucking like fucking people that promote harm and shit. Yo, that's not canceled. That's the law. That's the fucking law. When you do a crime, you go to jail. You're not canceled. You're a criminal.
PM.
Yeah, like it was a different time back in 2019 and 2020. All these big streamers were like based as fuck politically, calling out the like anti-woke, anti-SJW folks for being like grifting weirdos. And now we're in this god-awful era where these same people, Asmongold even used to say the same kind of shit, are now, they're now right-wing chuds. And I'm sure they'll flip again when the bandwagon movement, I guess, flips more to the left again. When the pendulum swings back, I suppose. I really liked that video, and I thought it did a really good job of just getting to the point and exposing AndyPants for the really creepy shit that he's got in his game. Like, the game itself, even if it didn't contain AI-generated CP, would be god-awful. But the fact that it does, that because of that, it's been taken down from most places that hosted it, and now he's raging about it getting taken down and trying to blame it on cancel culture and the woke left. Meanwhile, he's also claiming the woke left is in favor of spreading and proliferating that type of material. The level of every accusation being a confession that is blatant here in this situation has never been more obvious. Like, this is it. This is what we mean when we say the people who are the most dedicated to calling gay and LGBT people predators are probably themselves predators, because every fucking time it turns out they are. I want to bash my head against a wall. When can I have fun playing games again? Exactly. When can we just go back to playing fun games and not having to worry about whether or not the race of the main character is going to lead to some massive internet shitstorm? When can we have the good days back? When conversation around games could actually be about how good or bad the game is likely to be. Because I miss it. That's what it was like. Who remembers when discussion around games online was actually about the games? Pepperidge Farms remembers. Anyway, if you enjoyed this segment, if you found it entertaining, educational, or enjoyable in any way whatsoever, then please consider leaving a like and a comment down below. Regardless of how you support the channel, it really does help a lot, but likes and comments are instantaneous, completely free, and they're really good ways of supporting the channel. They kind of manipulate the algorithm into pushing my content to more people, so please consider liking and commenting. If you don't know what to comment, you can always just say, "Who up Xandering their hall?" And of course, don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell icon to turn on all notifications so YouTube actually tells you when I go live or upload new videos in the future. And on top of that, if you want to see more from me on other platforms, make sure you follow my social medias linked down below in the description. Especially my fan Discord, as it's the main hub of my community and fan base, and I host gaming events, call-in streams, watch parties, and movie nights there every week on Fridays, and I also announce all my new uploads and streams there too, so if you don't want to miss anything, then I recommend you join my Discord through the link down below. And finally, If you want to support me directly, financially, help me keep the lights on and a roof above my head here at the Xander Hall studio, then please consider donating, subscribing, or gifting a sub on my website, xanderhall.com/live, or support me through YouTube, Twitch, Streamlabs, StreamElements, Patreon, or buy some custom Xander Hall merch through the Streamlabs link down below. Regardless of how you support me though, thank you all so much for watching, and as always, have a good one.